What is up, guys, and welcome back to another brand new video. Today we're here for episode number 16 of our My Team journey for the US Grand Prix. If you're wondering why we're going straight into practice, is because I couldn't even find the footage of us at HQ. But not much happened. It was actually a bit of a short break between Kota and Suzuka. So we got back to HQ. I think we had a couple of upgrades going on. One of them, I think, was a durability, and I think one was a chassis upgrade, maybe a weight reduction upgrade. So those were, well, the weight reduction upgrade was pretty handy to have. It means that the car could be a bit more stable through all the S's, as you saw a moment ago. So that kind of helps us, with the stability of the car, and that's something that even up to this point we're still literally lacking, even though the upgrades we're getting on the car are only minor. But we could be looking at a few major upgrades in Season 2, which we are getting closer by the minute, guys. I know that other YouTubers have done up to their 3rd or 4th season, and yes, we're still only at Season 1, even though this series started, September, something like that, mid-September. So we still have a lot of episodes to do, and, with us, with me working and, needing to help around the house, it doesn't make things any easier. So if you guys like this content, I appreciate you supporting this channel, and let's keep this string of episodes going. So into the weekend now, just getting through all the practice programs. As you can see, we had a bit of a moment at the SS. Nice little jump over the curb. That was absolutely lovely. You don't want to be doing that too much, otherwise you could end up with some floor damage, and you don't want to be running that wide too often. So yeah, we got through practice okay. Everything nice and normal. However, we did struggle to get some of the development boost goals completed. As you can see in the race strategy, we didn't quite get the tyre wear in shape, so that was a bit of a disappointment. Into our quali run. This is, I feel like the quali run is something that, is probably the most important part of the weekend, in all honesty. So when you get to the end of practice 1, or even up to FP3, because that's when the track is going to be at its most grippiest before qualifying, but I'd literally like to do all the programs before we get to practice 2 or something. So even that we didn't get the maximum out of that session, although we get P6 in the end, and I don't think we had the AI difficulty down that much. So we quickly did a quick practice. We actually, I actually decided to do a few of the other practice programs to get the goals completed, which is something I don't like to do, because I don't like to use the extra few laps in practice to get it done. I will probably most likely just do it in quick practice like we did with the quali program. I had to do that twice, so lovely. Getting all the discounts in. I don't think we looked at any other upgrades that I could think of afterwards. So when we go to qualifying, let's see what we can do. So here we go there for qualifying for the US Grand Prix. Pay close attention as we're coming out of the pit lane. Disengage pit limiter. Yes, I was trying something a little different in this episode. Doing a pit release mechanism and pit entry. I've decided to turn those 2 assists off, and we're going to see how many penalties we can get out of that. So that should be a whole lot of fun. Coming around for the end of our first flying lap, one thing that I'm sort of exposed to is engine wear. We are running a bit of an old engine into this weekend, but that's because I'm trying to save the grid penalty for Mexico, because that's a nice strong track for the player, and I think we could be a chance for maybe fringe points if we're lucky with our engine change. So that's what we're going to be targeting, is an engine component penalty, like literally a whole new engine for Mexico. So hopefully that is the case, and hopefully we can have a good result there. But that's going to come in the next episode. Right now we're into Q1 still, coming around for our second flying lap. We've got Latifi in the way. Not ideal, however, he will give us a little bit of slipstream as he begins his lap and we finish our lap. So up to the line, it is a 5-second improvement because we did make a mistake in the third sector. We actually ran off the track, just where the other cars are going through now. So we made up that time. It's a 33 flat. There's still more times to find as we wait for the end of the session where the track is going to be at its most grippiest. So we're going to see if we can get ourselves into Q2 or close to Q2. Anywhere in the top 20, I will absolutely take at this stage, even with the car that we currently have. So that's Ocon in front of us. We're going to see if we can try and grab his slipstream as we go around for a full onboard lap. So probably a little bit conservative into turn 1, but we can try and get an exit around there into the S's. Always struggle here at the set of S's. So pretty good so far. We're a tenth and a bit up at the first stage, but we've lost a little bit of that through the last portion, and where we get to the sector mark, we have already lost all that time. So, and Ocon is like, what would you say, 2 seconds in front already. So it was going to be a fight if we could stay with Ocon, but let's see what happens and if this slipstream helps us. I think we are targeting some sort of DRS upgrade for Mexico, and that's something that's going to really help us along the straights, especially in a battle. So we're 2 tenths up at the second sector mark. So this is where we made the mistake, and this is probably where we can find the most time with that rate reduction upgrade, or whatever the upgrade that was. Not quite the best run through there. As the sun sets, qualifying is complete, so this is our one and only run. We are 4 tenths up into the last couple of corners. We are nearly 5 tenths up. How much more time can we find? We cheese the last couple of corners, and what was that, a 6-10 improvement? Are we into Q2? We're not in the top 14, top 15. No. Top 16? This is the last spot? No. George Russell takes that, and we are 18th place. 4 tenths away from George, so that's a bit of a margin. I don't think I could have done that any better, in all honesty. I feel like that was the maximum I got out of the car. Robert P21, some 8 tenths behind us. I don't know if it's the setup he's running. I mean, I'm running a decent setup. I'm running 811 wings, but this is, I've recorded this video literally ages ago, and this is the first time I've got this out. A fairly dry race, and that's the components we've got. So the turbocharger is on 63, and what's the controller electronics we're running with? 69%. I think the other one was like 70 odd percent, 75% or something. So we're gonna go to component 2 for turbo, and I think we did component 3 for controller electronics. So let's hope we can get through the race cleanly without any components failing on us.
Welcome once again then to the United States Grand Prix here in the magnificent city of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Raikkonen delighted the world by winning for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what, I wonder, is in store for us today? With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo, and Gasly, Tsunoda, Ocon, Stroll, and Kimi Raikkonen. Fernando Alonso, they've taken a grid penalty. Verstappen, George Russell, and Norris. Skip, Latifi, Nikita Mazepin, and Mick Schumacher. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Giovinazzi, Schwartzman, they've taken a grid penalty. Sainz and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid.
Well, things are getting from bad to worse for Max Verstappen, starting outside the top 10. That is not good news for him. We gain 3 spots from our original grid position, and we're getting a grid penalty, but surprisingly moving up 1 spot with the grid penalty. So, looking like it's going to be an easy soft to medium race, easy one stop here. Let's see how that works out. There's Verstappen in front of us, but we can't worry about him. 5 red lights and away we go. Let's worry about our own race. Looks like a good start up against Lando Norris. George Russell gets a brilliant start. He might go around the outside of Fernando Alonso. We're going to go up the inside of Verstappen and Norris. Latifi dive bombs all of us, and a cheeky corner cut. He may have to give a couple of positions back, and Norris and Verstappen end up getting in front of us because we didn't get our foot down quite easily enough. I'm always conservative on the first laps of these races, just getting the foot down as carefully and as gently as I can. Nice bunny hop over the curve. You don't want to be doing that too much over the course of the race, otherwise you could end up with floor damage, and the car is going to have a massive amount of drag along the straights, which means you will be absolutely no hope of defending yourself. So already halfway through the lap, nice green freeze already. That is something that I'm not going to be happy with if that keeps up. We're holding stations to Lando Norris, just coming around 16, 17 and 18, the long sweeping right-hander. Drivers do tend to lift off a little bit, whereas we can literally almost go flat out and break away or gain on those guys and maybe shape up and move into the last corner. So we've got a huge gap. We're going to afford to brake at the braking zone. Can we go around the outside of the Lando? No, we're just a little bit too far back to do anything about that. So we're just going to hold firm for the time being and see if we can stay with this DRS train. If not, try and overtake these guys. It'll be an absolute miracle if we can overtake these guys. However, Latifi is leading this train, so as long as we can stay in this train, we're in with the champs. But for Verstappen's sake, he needs to literally get past this train before we overtake these guys. It'll be absolutely awesome if we can overtake these cars. So as you can see, this is a few laps later. We are literally right behind Lando, but we lose a little bit of that through the SS. And look at that, we brake at the normal braking point and we almost rear-end it, but we get a great run from the outside. But Lando in that McLaren, that is a beast in a straight line. However, we get slipstream and we are the closest behind him. And can we overtake a McLaren into turn 11? I think it is. Yes, we can. Are we going to make the move stick? We're not going to give him another chance to get past us. So that is a position up to P15. And we still have Verstappen and Alonso up next. Let's see if we can do something about that into turn 1. Now, Verstappen locks up a little bit. We're going to try to go right around the outside. Do we have the grip to pull this off? And I tell you what, if we do, we have just overtaken the championship leader. Guys, you cannot make this stuff up. We have just overtaken the championship leader. It was, the second worst car. That is unbelievable. Let's see if we can overtake Fernando Alonso now. Nice little moment over the curve. Thankfully, it doesn't lose us too much time. Oh, we're not quite close enough. Giovinazzi has made a move on Nick Latifi. So could Latifi hold on to Giovinazzi's slipstream and maybe we can shove up a lunge on Alonso? No, not quite yet. I am seriously thinking about these moves all the time. 38% on the front left, that's not looking too pretty. So Verstappen is a little bit closer to us than we are to Fernando, but we're holding stations for the time being. Cars is now starting to come into the lane. That's Daniel Ricciardo that's in the pit lane. One of the Mercs has just come in. One of the Ferraris has as well, and the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly. I think it is. What's Danny going on to? I think he went on to another set of softs. What's Gasly going on to? He's gone on to softs as well, so he's doing a 2-stop. If Danny has gone onto softs as well, he is going to be doing a 2-stop. Latifi, Alonso, Norris, Verstappen, I think, Raikkonen have come into the pit lane as well. What are they going on to? Raikkonen, he's on another set of softs, so he's doing a 2-stop. Latifi, softs as well, so they're both doing a 2-stop. What about everyone else? Sainz onto mediums, he could go to the end of the race. Alonso, Verstappen, and Norris have gone on to hard compound tyres, so they'll take those to the end of the race. So I reckon they'll park the bus and take those to the end of the race. Lap 11 now, we're going to go straight into the pit lane. First race with the pit assist disabled. Nice pit entry. So that is the first box ticked with the pit assist disabled. Let's see if we can keep that up. 51%, if you guys caught a glimpse of that. So that's the maximum we're taking those tyres to. Medium compound tyres, we'll easily take those to the end of the race. 2.2 second stop. Nice stop, boys. Thank you very much. Out into the track we go. Where are we going to pop out? There goes Fernando Alonso. So we don't quite get the overcut work. But there is George Russell, I think it is. We're going to squeeze him off, saying, no, mate, you're not getting that position. So Russell is on hard compound tyres. He'll take those to the end of the race. The deeper we get into this stint is going to favour the hard compound tyre runner. So Nice has already gone past George, and now he'll be within a chance to overtake us. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as a DRS train, so looks like we're going to have to defend from P13 all on our own. Let's see how long that lasts, as George is holding up one of the cars behind. I think one of them might be Verstappen, or if...
Okay, we have an issue with the control electronics box. That's going to do additional damage to all other power unit components.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. That's not a huge thing to worry about, because we can put up with it, but it's nothing too catastrophic. I think he said the control electronics, didn't he? So that's at 75%, so that's on its last leg. Look at how fast Lando is catching us. He is going to go up the inside. We give him the space. Can we do the over and under? No, we can't. That was my plan, and to be honest, I probably could have put up a bit more of a fight in that, in all honesty. Verstappen has already got past George Russell too, so now... What is Verstappen going to do here?
Okay, there appears to be an issue. We're currently investigating.
Oh, no. Not what you want to hear. We're in such a good position as well. We were on the fringes of the top 10. Probably top 13 or whatever was going to be the case. And it looks like we're going to have another team radio message come through here. What is it?
It looks like we're experiencing an ERS software glitch. The issue seems to be fixed, but we will keep monitoring it our end.
No, you can't, Jess, because at this stage I'm trying to disable DRS, but we are literally draining our ERS. There is nothing I can do about it, so this is going to be catastrophic for us.
Good news, it looks like the fault has been fixed.
Phew, okay. Well, at least that glitch actually somehow kept us in front of Max Verstappen. But how long can we keep Verstappen behind us is going to be the question. We get to the end of our 16th lap, about to start lap 17, and, well, even though that ERS glitch helped us stay in front of Max, it doesn't... have us stay in front of him for much longer. We're going to try and give him a little love tap and maybe sneak up back up the inside. So this is absolutely frustrating for Verstappen. He's going to lose the lead of the championship if one of the Mercs get a good result. But Max goes up the inside, but this time we're not going to fight too hard. We tried the over and under, but apparently I turned in a little too early. No, Max did not park the bus. That was all me. Just turning a little too early and thankfully avoiding that. Carlos Sainz got the best one out of the two of us, and he might even get Verstappen right around the outside. Max goes defensive. Carlos is going to try and go around the outside. If he can hold on here, then he'll have the inside for 12, and he doesn't quite get up there in the end. So it's P15 for Sainz. Giovinazzi behind us is on soft compound tyres. He'll easily get past us, but he'll have to do another stop. So, and Robert is in the pit lane. Wow, okay. Thanks for that. So, yeah, that is a very unfortunate thing for Robert. I thought he could have probably done a one stop and maybe go into hard compound tyres and maybe park the bus, or do what I do, go into mediums, because I could easily take mediums to the end of the race. If I could take mediums to the end of the race, then I have no doubt that Robert probably can too. Giovinazzi gets up the inside of us at 12, but we get to the end of the 18th lap and he is coming into the pit lane anyway. So same as Sainz on mediums? Yeah, he's on coming in for potentially another set of mediums. To be honest, I thought he could have taken those mediums to the end of the race. So apparently he didn't. So now we've got just over 2 seconds to Kimi Raikkonen in the closing stages of this race. He's going to get us. I think he's on way fresher tyres than us, way fresher mediums. The fronts are on 31 and 32%. So as you can see, the next lap he's already taken about 7/10 off us. So I think we're going to have a nice little duel with Kimi Raikkonen at the end of the race. He's already literally a second up on us on lap 23 of this race. So now it's going to be an almighty fight with Kimi Raikkonen to try and keep P12. This is the best result we've had for quite some time if we can hold off Kimi Raikkonen in the Alfa Romeo, which, by the way, guys, is still in front of us on the performance index. So if we can hold off an Alfa Romeo, or if we can hold up get past Verstappen and Norris in the early stages or whatever, we have no doubt can potentially hold on to Kimi Raikkonen. Look at him gaining up on us only because we didn't use our battery, because I want to try and save that for the closing stages, because the AI are just ridiculous on the last lap. He even thinks about a move into 12, and well, I didn't expect that. I don't expect anyone to go up the inside at turn 12, but he thought about it, and I think there was some slight contact with us. This is where Kimi's going to gain a lot of his time through the center S's, but this time I felt like I literally nailed lap 24. That's probably the best run I've had through the S's the whole weekend. I totally believe that's the best run through there all weekend, because that is the place where it's not necessarily my favourite part of the track. So we get to the end of the back straight and Kimi just isn't quite close enough. We are able to marginally stay in front, and we still have plenty of battery to spare. Even at this stage, we're still going green, but you know, at the end of this race I was going green, then red box. So that is absolutely lovely. We had 70% on the show, but I literally just going to drain the battery along the straight. So the pit straight and the back straight here is we're probably going to use all the battery on. There is literally no point running it in the slow speed stuff, because I think that's where the dirty air is going to come into play. So I think if we can hold off here, but Kimi is literally right up our ass on the penultimate lap through the center S's. That was not a good run. Can that open the door for Kimi Raikkonen to have a look at us on the back straight? I think he might get us this time. We're going to stay on board for the rest of for the time being, but Kimi is about 5 odd tenths behind, but he is gaining out of the hairpin now onto the back straight. Let's drain the battery to try and stay in front of Kimi Raikkonen. We're not going to go defensive for the time being, but we are going to make him go defensive, and he is going to end up getting past us before we get to the braking zone. But we're going to try and get some of his slipstream and dive up the inside at the end of the straight. Nice move. I keep telling you guys, we are not one that is going to give up a fight that easily. We do not give up fights that easily. And look at the DRS train behind us. So if that train can stay together, then we can easily hold off Kimi Raikkonen. We're on to the last lap now. No cuts for the rest of this race. Let's see if we can hold it to Kimi Raikkonen for P12. 50% on the front tyres. Let's see if we can get those to the end of the race. Through the center S's we go. If we can keep it clean, then we should be able to hold on to Kimi, who is right up our ass. He was less than 2 tenths at one stage. Hamilton wins the United States Grand Prix. Who cares about that? We have opened up a gap to Kimi. It looks like at the end of the S's is where we gain the time. I would have thought Kimi on fresh tyres, he would have been able to literally stay up my ass, but a little bit sideways coming out of turn 10. That gives Kimi a massive opportunity. Can we hold on? We're going to 70. He's not even trying to get our slipstream. Why aren't you getting our slipstream? We've dragged our battery. We're going to give him a little bit of space, but not much, into turn 11, and I think we should be able to hold on for the rest of this race. So it's going to be P12 in a race full of battles with the championship leader and a McLaren and an Alfa Romeo and an Aston Martin behind us, however many cars are behind us. But regardless, this has been our best race for quite some time, and I mean that. This has been a race that I didn't think we were going to get. I didn't think P12 was going to be on the horizon. But what a race. P12. Great result here.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And we cruised over the line too, so nearly celebrated a little too early there. Vettel gets driver of the day. We only gained 3 spots in the race, so I guess that kind of makes sense.
That's it then for another magnificent United States Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
They are seriously coming hard. Mercedes 1 and 2, they are literally coming at Verstappen and Red Bull. This fight could go all the way to RBW, just like in real life, if things continue to go as they are. So, with Max out of the points, oh no, just getting a point, he might even still lose the lead of the championship if I am correct. We're about to go there now. And yes, Hamilton takes the lead of the championship by 3 points. So, this championship is far from over. I've got nothing else to say. Max Verstappen was literally cruising away from the Mercs, and Mercedes have taken the lead in the Constructors' Championship. I reckon Constructors is nearly done and dusted. I reckon it's pretty much up to Max to try and, you know, fight with Hamilton and potentially Bottas if things get literally out of hand. Which I don't think it's going to happen, because I think Red Bull, or Max at least, should be able to fight back somehow. And, you know, Red Bull are generally pretty strong at Mexico. So, speaking of Mexico, that is in fact the next episode. So, heading into that weekend, I should be feeling pretty good and feeling confident about that weekend, because Mexico is supposed to be a good track for the player, and I would literally consider my chances for a good result in the next episode. So, as you saw in the standings, we are on 16 points, and it's another 6 points between us and whoever was in who was in the top 15. But literally, top 15 I would absolutely take in the first season, with 16 points. Well, 16 points from 2 races, to be exact. But if we can score more points before the end of the year, I reckon, and maybe save some upgrades for the regulation changes. That is, if there are any regulation changes, which I reckon there will be. In all honesty, we should be able to save some of those upgrades, if not all of them. It depends also which departments they are. So if we can keep on top of things, we could have a relatively competitive car for Season 2, which is going to be a full 23 race calendar. But I haven't really decided which tracks they're going to be. So let me guys know what you want. Do you want China in for Season 2? I would really like that. But anyway, guys, that's something to talk about later. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.